in your book, you talk about how the church in the West has become too soft, and you make a case for, I think you call it brash evangelism. Tell us about that, Ryan.
Yeah, well, it's like this. So, the 11th commandment over here, anyways, the 11th commandment is thou shalt be nice. And
Right.
the 11th commandment, I think Bodhi Bakum said the 11th commandment in the Christian world is more important than all the other 10 commandments. So, and that's what it comes down to. And that's part of our culture, I think, in general, where it's very, we're very sensitive, we're very easily offended. And so, everything is about toning or policing tone. Now, and here's again the extremes, right? In the book, in the book, I explained this too, but here as well, I want to point out that this is not to say that we have to go and be rude and arrogant and overbearing and unthoughtful regarding the people that we're interacting with. That of course that's not Christian like. We want to be meek, we want to be patient, we don't want to be quarrelsome. So, but it is to say that a lot of times we think, well, I can't go confront the sin of homosexuality. I can't confront the sin of transgenderism or abortion, because if I do so, it's not going to be seen as nice by my culture. And that's what I mean, by the idea of we have to realize that we as Christians, the gospel is going to offend people. And sometimes as Christians, we try to protect ourselves from being an offense to people. And that's and going back to your question, the reason why I made this argument as far as brash evangelism goes is because in the book I point out how the early church was evangelizing. There's a reason why the early church, I mean, they were slaughtered left and right. They were thrown into the gladiators arena. They were being covered in pitch and set on fire. They were being treated horrendously. But what you never find anywhere in the early church is people accusing anyone else of being too mean or too over the top or too zealous in their evangelism. You don't see that. Whereas if this was happening in our day, if the Christians were being persecuted in the West today as they were in the early church, one of the things that the church would do today is they would tell everybody to chill out and be a lot nicer, because there's no way that we should be experiencing this much persecution. Whereas that's not the case. If you're a Christian living in the West and you take a stand for the gospel, you can do it gently, you can do it respectfully. But if you take a stand for the gospel, you are going to receive pushback. You might get fired from your job. You might have people slash your tires, spray paint your front door, whatever that is. And that comes with the cost. That's the cost of following Christ. And we're seeing that in the West more and more. We're seeing this.
Yeah. Yeah. So helpful and so true.